Episode 4 of Resident Playbook: When Colleagues Become True Friends. Episode 4 of Resident Playbook takes us deep into the emotional trenches of first-year medical residents. It's an episode about pressure, loss, jealousy, guilt, and the kind of quiet strength that only comes from human connection. This isn't just a story about doctors. It's a story about people who are still learning how to support each other in the middle of chaos. A case that was too heavy to handle alone. The episode opens with Oh I-yeong taking on a high-risk patient, a pregnant woman whose baby has a rare heart defect. The responsibility feels overwhelming, especially for someone so early in their career. Things take a heartbreaking turn when the newborn passes away shortly after birth, and I-yeong is assigned the difficult task of collecting skin samples from the baby. It's more than a clinical duty. It's emotional wreckage. She's not just dealing with death, she's being asked to touch it. With trembling hands and a heavy heart, I-yeong turns to her fellow resident Kim Sa-bai and says, "Can you do it with me? I'm scared." Sa-bai doesn't say a word. She just holds her hand. Together, they say goodbye to the baby. That moment doesn't need music or dialogue to hit you. It just does. Quietly, but deeply. Jealousy, competition, and the start of real growth. Emotions don't stay in the OR. They spill over into everything else. Kim Sa-bai begins to feel jealous of I-yeong. She's getting praised by professors and handed important responsibilities. Insecure and frustrated, Sa-bai deletes shared study materials, a petty move, but a painfully human one. Who hasn't felt that way at some point? Watching someone else succeed while you're struggling not to fall behind. It's raw. But what matters more than the feeling itself is how they deal with it. Sa-bai later admits her mistake and opens up. They talk. Not as rivals, but as people. And in that honest conversation, you can see the first signs of something stronger than competition: understanding. A mistake in the OR, and the weight of guilt. Later in the episode, I-yeong makes a small mistake during surgery. A scalpel slips, and fellow resident Ji Do-won gets cut. It's not life-threatening, but the guilt is immediate and intense. She keeps replaying the moment in her mind, blaming herself. But Do-won doesn't get angry. None of them do. Instead, they offer reassurance. That support isn't just nice, it's necessary. In medicine, mistakes feel like the end of the world. But here, we see that forgiveness and kindness can make all the difference in helping someone stand back up. Miscommunication and a midnight phone call. The episode also focuses on another kind of tension between residents and nurses. Pyo Nam-jong receives advice to be more assertive, and tries to apply it during rounds. But her blunt approach backfires. The nurse walks away without a word, leaving the atmosphere cold and awkward. That night, at an unholy hour, the same nurse calls Nam-jong for a prescription order. It's a small action with a big meaning. Some viewers called it a quiet revenge. Others saw it as a subtle power play. But no matter how you interpret it, the message is clear: respect in hospitals isn't just about medical titles. It's about mutual understanding. Nam-jong reflects on the incident. It becomes a turning point. She starts to realize that teamwork isn't about control, it's about communication. And in a place where everything moves fast, that kind of reflection is rare but vital. A meal shared, and hearts opened. One of the warmest scenes in this episode doesn't happen in the OR. It happens over dinner. The residents who usually eat alone in silence finally sit down together. At first, it's awkward. But soon, they're talking, laughing, sharing stories. This isn't just about food. It's about comfort, about showing up for each other. In a place where mistakes happen and emotions run high, these moments of connection matter. It's the first time they really begin to feel like friends. Small conflicts, big lessons. There's no grand twist in episode 4. What we see are the small, real moments that shape these characters. A mistake, an apology, a hand held in silence. That's what this episode gets so right: it doesn't overdramatize. It just shows people being human. We see what jealousy looks like, what guilt feels like, and how one person's warmth can pull another out of despair. Each resident stumbles a little, but they all grow a little too. And that's what makes this episode powerful. The message that stays with you. This story isn't about being flawless. It's about being honest. It's about reaching out even when you're scared. It's about being strong enough to say, I messed up, and kind enough to say, it's okay. Episode 4 reminds us that life in the hospital isn't just a series of diagnoses and treatments. It's a series of human encounters. Behind every procedure is a person. And behind every person is a story of fear, of hope, of quiet resilience. In the end, we're not moved by the medicine. We're moved by the people practicing it. If you've ever had a tough day at work, made a mistake, or felt like you didn't belong, this episode is for you. And if you've ever had someone sit beside you in silence, just to let you know you're not alone, this story will hit home. Enjoyed the video? If this episode touched you in any way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your comments help us grow this community of thoughtful viewers, so feel free to share your thoughts and favorite scenes below. We read every one of them. And don't go too far, we'll be back soon with a deep dive into episode 5. More stories, more growth, and more quiet moments that speak volumes. See you then.